3-2. He was on our top 8 in the honor roll. And we should mention Eric Hoskins as well, whom we saw last week on this program. Opened with a 299, just 2 pins out of the honor roll. Final team match of the evening will start with Kirby Freeman of Bowl Movement. And this is an important game because these two teams are tied dead even on team scores, both with 4:54 going into the final match, and Kirby opens with a strike.
Excellent opening shot for Kirby. Actually giving Steve Murray 2 pins in handicap here. Steve, the coach of the Whitmer team.
He has been hot this evening, 267, 259. Good start for him.
Found this kind of interesting talking with Steve earlier. He said this pair was very similar to the pair they came off of. And Bryce Knott told me it was considerably tighter. So they got 2 players on the same team, but getting a different read. So.
Steve's got 5 300 games. And his high series all-time 822.
Shoulder high pulled that one. Get the Brooklyn. It's the Brooklyn, or as has been come to be known in the high school league, the Whitmer carry.
That was a kick that led to another kick that took down the 10. Back to Kirby. Oh, how about those?
Got some stylish shoes on the show tonight.
Just to make it 2 in a row.
That a little wide. Very strong release. Almost shovels the ball down the lane. Has a lot of spin to it.
The shoe's not quite metallic gold, but not half bad.
Trying to make out what that logo was on the shoe. See if he can keep this going.
Games of 184, 213. His average is 216.
Got that one in. Doesn't get the trick 4.
4-pin wobbles, but it won't fall down. Kirby with a 3 handicap. Look at this here.
So come in a little bit high. Was hoping it would hold. Or as the players say nowadays, push. Back in my day, we called it sit. But
Steve's handicap is at 5, so he's getting 2 pins. Did not need them in the first 2 games, and Kirby picks up the spare. To Steve Murray.
It's got a hold. It did almost left the solid 7. So striking the pose very solid. 2 pin to go to the wall. Kick out the 7. Starting with the front foot in front of the left. And oh, he liked it.
That's 4.
Head down all the way through the shot. 10 pin straight back. An old-fashioned player that strikes the pose at the end. Like eagles of some sort. Way wide. Makes the turn.
He does throw that ball way out near the gutter.
There's a lot of spin, very strong release. As you can tell, with his build, very strong. Gets all of it. He went a little high in this lane last time. Again, stumbling. Better shot there, got the swisher.
These guys are on.
So I'm standing way to the left, getting the ball out further to the right, covering a lot more boards than Steve. Was looking at something on the approach there, but a great shot. And Steve wearing the band on his forearm for a little more support. A little too wide, leaves the 2-pin. Ball just skidded a little bit too far. 4-pin tried to get the 2, but not quite.
Issues much more plain than Kirby's. He does get the spare. We've got a good one going here in match number 3. 8 strikes out of a possible 10. Kirby and Steve off to good starts.
It's party season and time to celebrate at the Andersons. Get all your special foods for your graduation party or summer celebrations. Our premium quality party trays are piled higher. You get more for your money. We make sub sandwiches in numbers or letters, perfect for graduations. And call to order a delicious custom decorated cake. Try one of over 50 dips, spreads, and side dishes. And shop our quality butcher shop for great buys on steaks, burgers, and fresh fish for the grill. It's party season and time to celebrate at the Andersons.
Hope is something that comes from within.
How important is it to give people hope? It's everything.
So we give them hope that we will manage their symptoms and we will help their family along the way.
I had to come back because of what they had done for my mom.
At Hospice of Northwest Ohio, it's people who help to make living happen for this chapter of life.
The halfway point of our third match of the evening, the final match of the team game, close one going between Kirby Freeman and Steve Murray. Every Sunday at 9 p.m. watch some of the best racing action from area tracks on BCSN's Sunday Night at the Races. Don't miss a thrill, spill, or close finish. It's only on BCSN. Motocross this week, I believe. It's happening out in Delta, Ohio. And we'll see how Steve bounces back from his first spare of the match. Open with a ham bone. 9 slash in the 5th.
Got that last shot a little bit wide. Didn't quite get the release. And did it again. This time it was a 2.45. Tell by his reaction, he knew it. Upset with himself for not quite getting a lift on that shot. Tough spare here. 2.45. Got to guard against the chop. If you want to make sure you get the ball over there, so you can send the 2-pin around. Good cover.
So 2 spares in a row for Steve. Kirby sitting at a double.
Kirby, obviously an excellent bowler. See him start to turn to the side a little bit, starting out. Holds the ball very low. Almost shovels it down the lane. Ringing 10, great shot.
been on the assembly line and a forklift driver, and Johnson controls for over 12 years now. Another look at that ringing 10. Did not budge.
All changed. Nice shot at the spare. He's down 10 pins. One of the things about scoring and bowling, they both have 4 strikes and 6 frames, yet Kirby is down 10 pins because his are spaced out. Steve's are together.
On the 7th.
Oh, that was almost a terrible. I mean, it's already a bad break leaving the 7 pin, but he almost left the 7-9 in the pocket. Would have been near disaster for his match point. It's a very strong release. Ball makes a very strong move and actually drove too hard. Went past the 9 instead of deflecting off into it. But somewhat of a break having a pin come off the wall and get the 9 pin out of there.
So Kirby, who did not need to throw spares, back on the 8th of May. It's only 300 game. 2 spares in a row since the break. Back to Steve.
Steve with a couple of errant shots. 5th and 6th frame. Same mistake again, 3 times in a row. Don't usually see that out of Steve. There's a double wood 2-8. Tough spare here. Just going to want to try and drive the ball into the 8 pin. Or hit the. Good job. Either hit the 2 pin flush or hit with enough drive that ball goes through into the 8 pin. Excellent cover. That keeps him in the lead. Let's see if he makes his adjustment here. Way wide. He was consistent on the first 4 shots of the match throwing strikes, and unfortunately for him, he's been consistent on the last 4, leaving 2 pin with something. This time just the 2 pin. Big opening for Kirby to take the lead here.
That's 4 straight spares after opening with 4 strikes.
And that's unusual. Usually when players go late, they come up higher in the next shot or 2. But Steve's been late all 4 shots.
Kirby in the 8th.
Not much of a backswing, but
sure can't follow through, can he?
spun that one a little bit too much, shaking his head. He looks a little confused by it. Here's the bucket. With the spare, he'll be down 12 pins. See him shaking his hand to the right, like he fanned it. Tough spare. Ball's got a hook. Didn't hook enough. Tried to guard against the chop, but didn't get it quite over there.
Here's one of the more interesting hobbies I've seen at all of our BCSN bio forums. Basketball, bowling, video games. That's perfectly normal. Cutting the sleeves off all my shirts. A little less normal.
Let's see if he can use the setup frame to get back in the match here. little too wide.
Yeah, we had deep sea treasure hunting last week. I guess anything's possible.
I didn't know that would be a hobby, though, cutting the sleeves off the shirt.
Just depends on how much you enjoy it.
Got that one too wide. Ball threatened to go in the gutter. There's a 1-2-4-8.
And I don't think he enjoyed that, judging from his reaction.
Has to make the spare to have a chance. Good cover. Steve. See if Steve can make his adjustment here. He can close out the match. Bryce doing all the coaching down here. Well, a little return of what he listened to for 4 years when he was at high school.
Now Steve Murray's 10th frame.
Needs at least the first strike to have a chance at closing Kirby out. Get there. Gets the messenger. And that will do it.
Steve, by the way, a production manager at Brown Body and Paint Center. And as Don mentioned, the Whitmer bowling coach.
Got that one wide, leaves the washout. 1-2-4-8-10. If he's able to convert, this will be 229 with his handicap 234. More than enough to win his point. That'll, if my math is right, move them up into third place. Gives it a shot. Nice job.
So Steve finishes in style. A 229 for him.
Ball get to the Brooklyn sides and head been into the 10.
Now Kirby will finish up.
Kirby with a possible 212 game. That's the first one.
Kirby had a great start. And that was his first strikes. It's the 5th frame.
The way the two players started out, I really thought we were going to have a high-scoring game, but I don't know if they can open a carry down all of a sudden. Sometimes lanes will transition a little bit. Maybe they just got a little quick with their feet. Do you want to go light again? One high leaves the 3, 6, 9, 10. Not a bad game. A little carry could have been better. Had a couple errant shots the second half. Pick up. 6 didn't get enough of the 10. 201.
So Steve Murray takes the point for Take No Prisoners. They beat Bowl Movement 16-2. A big night for them. They move up into 3rd place in the team standings. We turn our attention now to the King of the Hill. That's coming up.